And gentlemen, today we're going to dive deep into the world with one of the most influential personalities of today, and that is my good friend XayLi Barclay. Let me tell you, she is one of my favorite people. I don't even know how long it's been that I've known her. I feel like since my live streaming days, you've always been in my peripheral, so I've always known you. So having said that, you guys, if you have time today we're talking about how XayLi's journey, once an influencer, now an insider over at Thinkific. She has the Think in Color Summit. She's got Brave on Video. She's got so many things going on. Friends, she is redefining the game of influencer marketing, and not only that, but how to be brave on video. So today we'll explore her journey from being a popular influencer, honestly like YouTuber, because that's where I really fell in love with her, to becoming a strategic force behind the Think in Color Summit and all the amazing things. So we're going to sit down. We're going to talk about how did she do it? What were the challenges she faced and how did she overcome them? But that's not all. We're also going to dive into the nuts and bolts of strategic influencer partnerships. So honestly, listen, if you're like, hey, how do I get started? How do I find my own XayLi? Listen, I'm still trying to figure that out myself. This is the episode for you. In this episode, you'll learn the do's and don'ts of successful influencer partnerships, tips for meaningful collaborations, the future of influencer marketing, and how you can transition from influencer to insider. So having said that, Zay, let's get you on here. How you doing?
I am so good. Hey, Stephanie, so excited to be here. Oh my gosh. I'm happy to be on camera with you again. We have not done this in a while, so.
No, we haven't. And I love the energy and the vibe that you always bring in. It's this, ooh, I could just like marinate in it for a little bit. And I just love the fact that not only that we have you back on the show, I think this is your second time.
I think so,
Third
yeah.
time? Yeah.
I think
And
third.
probably third. I'm telling you. Oh, shout out to Anna Runsville who just joined. She said, jumped from Pinterest straight here and saw you are live, 70. I know, Anna. Come here, friend. Yeah, so see, even Alex says that you have a cool vibe. I'm telling you, it's not just me, it's everything. She brings it. It's not just the studio and the lights, it's her whole vibe. If you could put it in a bottle, give it to me. Like, where's the merch? Let's do this. Like, all right, so yes, XayLi and I go way, way, way back. The first time that I remember meeting you, like literally in person, social media marketing world, maybe like
Yes.
3 or 4 years ago, you were like the star for Thinkific. Rob Balasabas was like, Stephanie, you need to meet XayLi. And you had this crowd of people around you. And I was like, I'm second guessing my whole life right now.
Stop. Stop. If you guys don't know, I am the most shy person ever. Like, so me being in an in-person situation like that is always like, oh my gosh.
No,
But
it's
girls get it
true.
together.
It's true.
Okay.
It's true.
Yeah.
But I was honestly starstruck because they rolled out the red carpet. Like Thinkific had like these little coupon codes, like these little cards, and it had XayLi in it. And I was like, dang. And she was like, oh, I like goals. By the way, shout out to Tatiana Rodriguez. She says she's excited to hear this
Hey,
conversation. Tatiana,
Tatiana.
I'm pretty much just gonna make Zay like I'm gonna make
Blush the
XayLi
whole
blush the
way. Can you
entire
stop?
time. And she's like,
I'm
can you
like,
just
my
take me
cheeks
up?
hurt. Stephanie's the only person that can do this to me.
I'm your literal hype person. Which,
Oh my
P.S. by the way, if
God.
you guys aren't headed over to Vid Summit, I'm going to see my girl over there too.
Yes.
I think it's going to be so much fun. Kenya Kelly is going to be there, so I'll have my good friend that
Yes.
knows all about TikTok. We have Brave on Video, so it's going to be a whole ton
Much
of fun. If you're not headed to Vid Summit, you are missing out. But yeah.
Completely. Yes.
See, Anna says, wow, you must be cool, XayLi, if you got Stephanie Starstruck. I'm telling you, look at me, I got goosebumps. It's a whole thing. Anna,
Oh my gosh.
if there was ever one YouTube channel that I just binge watched, it was yours. I was like, who is this
Stephanie.
woman? She's like, take me off the screen. No, you're gonna sit here and
That
you're gonna
part.
receive all this love.
Oh my
Her whole
gosh.
studio, her whole entire vibe. Actually, I think you were the first person to in my Instagram to start showing that you had the stand-up desk and the walking pad. You were the
Yeah.
first person to do that. And now I see all these other people do it.
All the
They have
girlies.
all the girlies, all the boss babes. And I see like these Instagram ads and I'm like, XayLi did it first.
Well, so can I tell you that's why you can't be afraid to share something, because so many people associate me with that now, and that also has turned into business relationships as well. It's so crazy, right? Like you can't be afraid to share things.
Be yourself, do all the different
Yeah.
things. And P.S. by the way, shout out to Eden, who said she wants to go to Vid Summit again this year, but wasn't able to make it
Oh
work with her
no.
schedule. Eden, we'll bring you in. We'll live stream.
We
You know,
will. All the
I heard Rob
stories,
is
all
going to
the
have a
things.
pizza party. So, I'm going to
Ooh.
crash that.
We'll be all
Kendra,
up in there.
I know. Kendra is here. Oh my God. See, they all came out for you, Zay.
Oh
I'm
my gosh. Hey,
telling you.
Kendra.
Starting the morning right.
Hello.
All right, so let's get into it because I could fangirl with you the entire time. But literally, friends, if you've never met her before, first of all, shame on you. Second, it's all good because you're here. So
Oh
let's
my
go into
god.
this. So, Zayli, your transition from an influencer to an insider and Thinkific is quite bold. Like I said before, the first time I met you, I was absolutely starstruck. You had everything figured out. You were like the course queen and you were teaching other people how to do it. Literally, I was sitting at the dinner with one of my good friends and like I saw people coming up to you. You were shaking hands, kissing babies. And I was like, who is this Zayli? So tell us about your journey in all the things.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I started off as an influencer, like Stephanie said. I started out, I always loved fashion and beauty and just all the things. And so I started off sharing my hair journey. I had really long locks at one point. And so started out sharing about just myself, my journey, my fashion, my style. And although I loved doing that, I really wanted to work for myself full time. And at that time, this is probably like 2014, 2015, and I started in the online space around 2008, 2009, to be really honest. But at this point, I decided I wanted to take it seriously. I wanted to work for myself full time. And so what happened there was partnerships weren't that popular at that time, or influencing wasn't really a thing at that time. And so I decided, okay, I need to figure things out if I really want to go full time with what I do. And so I decided that, well, people would always ask me about my video quality. Like, oh my gosh, your video quality, your personality, the way that you can literally sell anything to anyone, all of those things, started coming to the forefront. So people started asking me for what they want, which eventually became my next step. Right. So the online coaching industry was becoming really popular at this point, and I decided, well, why not help people get on camera, be confident, be consistent, create quality content. And in doing that, I created online courses to do that. And that's how my relationship with Thinkific started. I tried all platforms and landed on Thinkific and absolutely loved it and started to share about that as well. So that is how that kind of came into play. So then I was able to transition full time teaching my online courses and also building courses for other people. And then, that whole thing just blossomed. Yeah.
And so, how did they find you? Did you pitch them or did you sign up as an affiliate and then they saw, like,
No.
hey, look at this?
Um, that's a really good question. No, I did not. I just built my courses within the platform. Now, I I just find the most unique ways to do things, or I know that I have a different taste, or just different view of how to use a tool or make it do something that I want it to do. And so one day I shared my school on Instagram, and I believe I tagged them. And so I guess that made them go on their back end specifically and look at my school. I know that my school is completely different from everyone else's. The way that I built my courses was completely different. It was very well branded because I love that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, the way that I structured my courses, just those things. I was constantly on camera, I was constantly teaching, marketing my courses. So I guess they just observed what I had built and they approached me like, hey, who are you? We want to know you. So that's how that kind of happened.
To me, it's like Zayli doesn't chase, she attracts, you know?
So you bring out the worst of me on camera. Like,
No, it's funny because there's certain girlfriends that I have where it's like you get us together and it's on a whole nother level. And it's
Yes.
funny because I'm getting back into creating content again, and I found my
Yes.
Osmo Pocket. And funny enough,
Yes.
I found my SD card, and it was when you, me, Judy, and Ty were we were doing LobbyCon, our first LobbyCon. Do you remember
LobbyCon.
that? It
Yeah.
was it was at Broadcast Your Authority. You're speaking on
Yes.
stage, and we did a little LobbyCon in. Yeah, it was so much fun because I was like, I
We
remember
did.
this. We had our little Osmo
It
Pockets,
was
and
so fun.
goodness, that had to have been like 3 or 5 years ago. But it was
Yes.
really nice to just
I
see
feel like
like
we've lived different lifetimes together, although we're not like always around each other, right?
that's
Like that
true.
is hilarious.
Different phases in
Yes.
business, and all those different things. And so it's really exciting to see how much you've grown, the partnerships that you've had, how you've flourished, and every now and then you'll see me on your Instagram. I'm like, and I will
Oh my
comment
gosh.
bomb. Anna says LobbyCon is such a great idea. It is.
Right, Anna? Oh my gosh, we had it all fleshed out. Like we
We
had it
did.
all fleshed out because we would just always be in the lobby of conferences doing the most.
And it
Okay.
was wild because Judy Fox, Miss Judy
Yes.
Fox, if you're on LinkedIn, go ahead and tag her. Miss
Yes.
Judy Fox had podcast in a purse. Do you remember this?
She did.
She had like two
Yes.
mics and like, I don't know,
She
like a Zoom
did. We
recorder.
were
And
cracking up, but it was also so genius. Like, oh my gosh, like who walks around with two microphones? Like, it was so genius.
podcast in a
Judy,
purse.
you're
And
a
she's like, I'm a
genius.
mom. I have snacks and I have podcasting gear. And I was like, that's a
She
tag.
did.
That's a tagline right there. I
Yep.
love it. I love it. Okay, so when you started off your partnerships with any brands in general,
Mhm.
what you told me is that you usually like to work with brands that you're very familiar with. It's
Yeah.
not like you, I guess when you started, did you go searching for brands, or did you just focus on the ones that you knew worked well for you and your business and you were confident enough to show your students?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Honestly, and that could have came from my influencer days where as an influencer you genuinely share stuff that you like, and usually it's because, especially if you're building your career, these are things that you use all the time that you love, as you kind of go about your day, or however it works out, right? I'm getting excited, guys. So I usually work with brands that I actually already use. And this way I can come in from a different aspect as it pertains to the brand. I get to do work that I actually love. I get to use platforms that I know through and through. And it just makes my work with partners a breeze. But the other thing that I've always done is I'm always very intentional about partnerships. And usually it's partners that have the same or ideal kind of client or customer as I do. And so that also works because I can build a lucrative business from it, and I have been able to. So that's always a plus.
I love that. And it reminds me of the concept of like joint venture programs. It's
Yes.
like you
Yep.
have your audience, I have my audience. I focus in this area and you focus in that. Maybe we could join forces
Yeah.
and put that together. And it was such a smart idea. Again, seeing you and Thinkific work together because, like you said, you put your own stamp on it, your own swag, your own style,
Yep.
your signature, and everything, and made it really work.
Yeah.
Having said that, quick shout out to Gary Jones Jr., who is watching from YouTube. Just wanted to give you a
Hey,
little love.
Gary.
Eileen Smith, who says, great to see y'all. It's always, I
Gary.
don't know about you, Zay, but when I see other female content creators, especially those that are brave enough to go on
Mhm.
video, I'm like, I'm learning from you. And Eileen has been in the game
Yeah.
forever. I think she was the first one that was teaching so much about StreamYard, did a bunch of tutorials, and so it's
Wow.
nice to still see her here. I love it. Yeah, Zayli's wavy accent, like, yep, that's how you know it's her. Often imitated, never duplicated. I don't even think you made like an influencer video around that.
No, I didn't. And I probably still have the box. I do that. I'll be like, I'll talk about this. And it's just like sitting there. So I should
Oh,
throw
that's
that box away
hilarious.
because I still have not.
So, on your influencer journey with your partnerships, can you tell us a little bit about the most challenging aspect of the journey and how you managed it? Because when we started influencer marketing, did you already know influencer marketing? Did you have to navigate it, figure it out? Like, tell us about it.
That's a good question. I think for me, I didn't I was already an influencer, so I just brought over what I learned in the beauty space. Even when I started on YouTube, I had a channel that was growing so quickly. I got invited to YouTube space in DC. I was living in New York at this time. And like they wanted to nurture certain channels that were growing very quickly. And so when I decided to stop doing fashion and beauty, I brought that knowledge over to my current channel. Although it was a bit different, it was a lot different, right? Using YouTube as a business owner versus an influencer. It's very different. But for partnerships specifically, I just brought over what I learned along the journey, right? Along the way. So it wasn't that difficult. Something that I would say was challenging in the beginning was maybe pricing myself. That I had to learn, right? How to price myself. Yeah. Yep, definitely did. I love your surprised face, Stephanie.
Well, because
Let me
I
get
feel
back
like
on the screen.
everyone that everything I see you do now, you do so well in coaching people on how to price their stuff. So I'm like, wait a second, there was a
Oh
time when
yeah.
Zay was what?
Well, so what is a coach who has never experienced difficulty? Or then I won't be able to, really connect with my ideal customer or client ever. Like, I don't want a coach who's perfect. Like, I
Yeah.
want a coach who's been through some things so that you can show me how to get through those things, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
We've all
so,
been through adversity
yeah,
university, as Ryan Berman likes to
there
say.
you
We've gone
go.
through those challenges.
Exactly. So for me, I was able to bring those things over and, teach my students. Another challenge that I had was because I was growing my business, I'm front facing with being an influencer or, partnerships and things like that. The back end of my business, like growing both at the same time. Whew, let me tell you, I had to learn how to find balance between both because even learning to scale, I had to realize, like, hey, I need help because my inbox is overflowing. Things are going crazy. Like there's so much going on the back end, and then I still have to show up and market on the front end. So, I think just a mix of being a partner and influencer, but also having your own business. Like you have to prepare yourself for that volume. So that there are a few challenges that I had to go through based on both, and it's all learning and it's all beautiful, and I'm so grateful that I've gone through some of those things.
I love it. I read this quote this morning that said, marketing can never fix a person's mindset
Ooh,
because if you don't have the mindset of,
yeah,
hey, I need to put myself out there, I need to be brave on video, I need to start, shoot,
yeah.
and grow my audience, you'll never get there until you have someone like you that actually walks them through that process.
I agree. I agree. It's yes. If you do intend to put yourself out there, just know it's a self-awareness journey. Okay.
Self-awareness. Shout out to DJ Strike who says, yes, everyone wants a coach that has already figured it out, of course. And
Definitely.
then Brandon Fortino says, that's a true definition of a coach. Look at you getting all this love. I feel like when I see you in Dallas, my face is going to hurt because I'm going to be hanging out with you, Owen, Kenya, and the rest of the crew. It's going to be fun. It's going to be vibes. Eden, I am so sorry you're not going to be there. I'm going to trigger your FOMO right now because now you're going to be looking at your schedule and like, what the heck? But if you can't make it, I'm pretty sure I'll go live and all that stuff. Alex Gordon is asking, whose quote? Alex, I don't know where I saw it. Oh, it was in my notebook, actually. It's in my notebook. I was reviewing my notes, and it said, marketing can never fix your mindset. So when you're in charge of your mindset, you're in charge of your results. And so
That is
whatever
true.
is stopping you from showing up on camera and being who you are and being self-aware of like, hey, this is something I need to work on, that's something where you go to this beautiful woman, and she'll help you figure it out, you know?
That part.
That's right. Jason Hodge has loved the down to earthness of this interview. Jason, let me tell you, the me and Zay, we go back. The way we live stream, it's hilarious. I love it.
It is.
All right, Zayla, I got another question for you. P.S.
Yeah.
You guys, Jason, Alex, the rest of the crew, you got questions? Drop them in the comments for us. Tatiana, I still got your question in the hopper too. So Zayla, from your perspective, what differentiates a successful strategic partnership from one that just doesn't work out?
For me, I feel like it's so powerful for brands to let the creator do what they do rather than try to um, lord the whole process, because as creators, that's what we're here for, right? Or we've been doing something that has been attracting the right audience. We've been doing things that allow for our audience to trust us, and take action on anything that we share. So I think, there should be, I know that brands do want things to happen in a specific way, look a specific way, this and that, but also not look, but they want you to say specific things at a specific time. I think the more strict you are, the less conversion you will get on the other side, because that creator can't create or be in their own realm or share their genuine energy with their audience because they're overthinking what the brand wants them to do specifically. I see creators speak about this all the time.
And I love that you say creators, because here's something that I've seen shifting in the marketing landscape.
Yeah.
Just as trends and audiences and consumer behavior shifts, I'm also noticing that most people like the identity or the name of creator versus influencer. And
Yeah.
I am seeing a difference in it, and I do see how people are treated differently, whether they're categorized as an influencer or a creator. So bear with me.
Yeah.
If I was working with an influencer who is not a content creator, I often see brands prescribe on how they should show up online or share content, right? They're like, here's suggested social media copy. Whereas a creator wants to co-create with you.
Yeah.
And they understand the platform, and they'll say like, that hook, not really a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think it just came from the years of, there are influencers who are creators now, or, I mean, they've always been a creator, but like you said, in terms of the buckets that you're thinking about specifically, I think just learning and understanding and wanting to be more hands-on in what you're doing. Or even if I've had a platform for 10 years and I'm an influencer, there's a space where I get into creator mode, because first of all, in 10 years, I can see what makes money, what does well for brands on my platform, what doesn't do well, what drives my likes up, what, like, all of the, like, I'll understand the analytics on the back end of, for my audience.
Yeah. And I feel like what really resonates with me too is when you were talking about creators.
Stephanie, my Alexa has come on. Could you give me 1 sec? This is hilarious.
I got you. There you go. See, that's the beauty of Ecamm. You could switch screens easily, which lets your guests do whatever it is that they have to do. But what I wanted to say is thank you so much for joining us. And I appreciate you so much for sharing this on all the different other platforms. For those of you that are interested about influencer marketing, whether you want to be one or you want to work with influencers, that's pretty much what we're talking about today, is how can you build these strategic relationships and all of those different things. Melody's saying is, I love her background. She has a really, I'm telling you, Melody, her whole entire vibe, it's, if you could put it in a bottle, I would be the first person in the line. I would do affiliate marketing for her. So all right, Zay, I could hear you in the background. You good?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I said that triggered
Don't say her name. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Okay. But she started playing Old MacDonald, and I was like, what? How? What? Anyway. Sorry, guys. And we're back.
I love it. I feel like I just snorted. See, this is how you know that it's live, because live things happen. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Creativity converts.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
It's creativity that converts. And when you're a brand, I feel like you have to have the courage to work with a creator who knows what converts. They know the platform in and out. It's not like a general social media manager who just knows a little bit about the different platforms. Like, I don't know about you, XayLi, I am constantly looking at Instagram reels. Okay, who commented? Who shared? What's followers
Yeah,
versus non followers?
definitely.
Who bookmarked this? What specifically about this? What are the specific hashtags? And I spend so much time crafting and honing in my craft. And so
Yeah.
do that. Work with your.
Exactly. And this is my thought. Honestly, I think so many brands pay attention to only numbers. And I've worked on the back end of campaigns with brands and have seen this. Sometimes you have a creator or an educator or an influencer with lots of followers, lots of volume, but the conversion is not there. So I've seen that like so many times. So just understanding who you work with as a creator or as a partner for brands and understanding their audience and making sure that it is in alignment, but also making sure that they have an active audience or, I think those things are so important.
I love it. All right, I've got another question for you from the audience. Jason bumped in, but Jason, you're in line because Tatiana like logged in early this morning. She's like, I still hope I have time to ask this question, so I'm gonna get that in there. So Tatiana was asking XayLi, I'm curious about marketing, the time involved and the boundaries. Marketing doesn't consume your whole life, especially if you're in solo mode. The question is, what systems, tools do you use to make this possible while having plenty of time for other areas of life? Because you're newlywed. You've got all
I
this stuff going on.
am.
What's your saving grace right now for your tools and systems?
YouTube, long form content, short form content. We need to be on the platform all the time. The time frame of a reel specifically, because we do have platforms where it lasts longer, but a reel, that lifespan sometimes is not that long or lengthy. So or you're like always playing Russian roulette and trying to see which reel is going to hit, and that can get tiring.
Yeah.
So for me, long form content, specifically YouTube, we're bringing on someone for Pinterest in October. Yes, in October. And so really focusing on longer form content for me is a like it has always been a focus because I've always been an advocate of YouTube. I don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube, but when I tell you it has been such a foundation in my business. And so having people find you all the time, having people spend time with you and you're not even there, it's such a, especially if you're producing once a week and then, well, now we can break that down and repurpose. Like, so, me being intentional about my long form content just allows for the ease of short form. And it seems like I'm everywhere and I'm probably nowhere, So
You're probably hiding.
exactly.
I'm the same exact way. I love repurposing and repackaging content. I like to call it digital confetti. This
Yes.
live
Love
stream,
that name.
yeah, digital confetti sprinkled all over the place. I actually shared something on LinkedIn yesterday. I actually just have it right here. Forgive me, I'm going to push something off my desk. Do you hear that? This is how you know you're a
Yes.
live streamer. Sam Rush, our good friends, actually had like 341 tweet chats and they made it into a book, Zay.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Yeah. So, and
That
then
is
it has
super
like
cool.
all the different names of all the different contributors. And I thought it was the coolest thing because how often do we see like ebooks and little things? But that was like, wait, hold up. You actually printed
Wow.
this, it's a hardcover.
Exactly.
And so
Wow.
when I hear you talk about repurposing content, I think that's always a great idea to look into. So,
Definitely.
something really cool to do with influencers. And so you've done like Thinking Color Summit, like with the sessions. Do you plan on doing something like that, or have you thought about it, replays? Like, what do you think?
What do you mean, like with like repurposing with thinking color?
Yeah, for like the summits
Yeah.
and the sessions, have you thought about making them into like workbooks or digital confetti?
No, I wouldn't do it with thinking color specifically. I know they have done it as in my partner, Thinkific, they have like distributed it in different ways for sure on their platforms. And it's so rich because we did it for this is our fifth year. So that's 5 years of different
Wow.
people coming in, different experts, so many amazing people. Listen, let me tell you, I feel like it was one of the most impactful conferences in the online space. We've impacted over 30,000 people. Thinking about that, like the magnitude of what we did, and before it was popular as well. Really important. Like, definitely see our blueprint in other conferences in the online space. But they have done a great job of repurposing specifically. However, that's a good like thought. Or I feel like I'm not going to repurpose like what we've already created, but I do know like how much my heart is in that message of amplifying women and amplifying minorities and women of color, especially in the online space. Um, I am launching something pretty soon. Yes. So,
I
um,
love it.
yeah,
I love how the show always like pulls things out of people. It's
I
like,
know,
I
right?
know you're doing something. Because here's the thing, Anna, Eden, Brandon, the rest of the crew, whenever you see your favorite content creator like disappear for a little bit, that's
Yes.
when you know that they're in hibernation mode and they're doing something super. I was like,
Yes.
what are you
Yes.
doing? And so I'm excited for that. So when that drops, I'm gonna be all bananas about it.
Yes. No,
I want to give a
so
quick shout out to Tatiana Rodriguez. She says, I teach public speaking at a university in New Jersey, and I love hearing people who have a platform that they are shy about. And I could prove this with my shy students to prove that all kinds of personalities can speak up. And I love that you're doing that.
definitely. Yeah, that is amazing, Tatiana. I
Eden
agree.
says, yes, shout out to all the female content creators. Oh my God, I needed this on a Tuesday. I needed this whole vibe for sure. Here's Jason Hodge. He says, prior to diving into your analytics, when did you know you found your voice and your stride to run with?
That's a really good question. I feel like as creators, a lot of times we're thinking something and we're afraid to put it out there for the fear that we are alone, and you are honestly never alone, especially in a space like the internet. So for me, I understand myself and I understand my journey, but I also understand that there are people that I can help that are where I was. And so in putting content out there, you'll always know that your audience trusts you and trusts what you're saying by their responses, or what they're saying in the comments or how they're sharing things. And so that's where your analytics is going to come in. But you have to first of all believe in what you're saying. You have to believe in what you're saying. And when you start sharing that confidently, people will start affirming, like, oh my gosh, I feel like you're talking to me. This is what I've been telling myself. I thought about this morning. Like, you're going to start getting confirmation in that way as well. But that starts with you. Starts with you.
That's true. It does start with you.
Yes.
I always tell people what's nice about live streaming or even just following your different content creators is, you know, they will turn their stumbling blocks into stepping stones for the next generation. And which is why I love interviews like this, because we didn't always have it figured out the first time we did a brand partnership. We didn't have it figured out as far as like how to host a summit online, and we eventually did. And I feel like sometimes the word fail in and of itself stands for first attempt in learning. It's like, just fail already, figure it out.
Hurry up and fail is one of my
Hurry
quote.
up
Like,
and
I say
fail.
that all the time. Like, hurry
Yeah.
up and get it out the way.
Hurry up and fail already
Collect
so
the
you can
data.
learn and just know what it is that you have to do.
Yeah.
Having said that, Melody is asking ZayLi, how do you boost your creativity? What inspires you?
Oh, that's a really good question, Melody. For me, sometimes I got to step away. So I feel like we all have this battle between consumption and creativity. And a lot of times when you're consuming or over consuming, you are not tapped into your voice and the thing that drives you. Sometimes we lose our voice because we're paying attention to all of the things going on in the online space, right? It's easy for us to be on our phones all the time. I know for me, when I ban myself from my phone, I'll still feel around for it. Like, naturally, my body is looking for that hit of dopamine when I pick up my phone. When I get to a point of frustration and I'm not feeling creativity, I realize that it is because I am over consuming and I have not heard myself in a while. So,
Yeah.
so if I am a creator and I am creating space for other people, First of all, I have to be very intentional about what I am consuming. I have to be very aware of who I am, and connect back to what I was placed here for, what I need to be doing. The other thing that blocks me sometimes is if I have a messy space. We're human, let's be real. Listen, sometimes my studio is a mess, right?
Yes.
Sometimes I've batch recorded all day and I have clothes everywhere because I've changed 3 and 4 times. I have makeup everywhere. Oh my gosh, like it gets crazy in my studio. And so, you know, when it's messy like that, I can't think or create in it. So,
Yeah.
I need to then decide, hey, I got to clean this up. I got to get in the mood. I put myself in the mood to create. I got to light a candle. I gotta, like get into a space where exactly, exact Stephanie, you have the best sound effects, I swear.
This takes work,
Um,
people. I mean, that's your point, right? It's like to be a
yeah.
content creator, to be an influencer, to show
Yep.
up. At least my belief, and I think you and I share the same belief. Like we have to get into the mood for it, because when you're on camera, your vibe amplifies. And
Yes.
so Brandon had said something earlier where it's like, believe in your message. And if when you believe in your message, it makes it so much easier for you to motivate the masses. If you're not in the mood, people can tell when you're faking things. There's so many different
Oh, they
studies
can.
out there where they're like, are you for real, for real? Right. And
Exactly.
I love the fact that you and I can just be, I'm going to create space and I'm going to get into the right mind space. So that way, when we show up online and we're, as Alex says, unlocking your creative genie. Here, they like the sound effects.
Yes.
You
Or
unlock your
even
creative genie.
thinking like, I am responsible for creating space.
Okay, see? Jason, Tatiana, all of you. So this is also what I loved that you had said. It's that sometimes we're consuming way too much content. And
Yeah.
in my brain, instantly, because I'm a visual learner, I wrote down creativity is greater than consumption.
Yeah.
How oftentimes do you and I come across clients where, they hop on a discovery call and you're like, okay, so what do you want to do? And they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's
Yes.
most likely because they have lost touch with their own inner voice. They have now given other people's values, beliefs, and attitudes more weight than their own. And
Yeah.
that's why they feel lost.
Yeah. Lost, confused, sporadically showing up, doing what 500 people are saying they should do when none of those things add up to one solid strategy. Just all the things.
Yeah. So, and that's why, like, when XayLi says that she's going to help you be brave on video, look, listen, you're one of one, you're limited
One
edition.
of one.
That's how you need to show
Exactly.
up on camera, right? You're one of one, limited edition. And I love the fact that that's why when people show up here, Jason's like, I love the vibe of this. I love the earthiness of this. That's who we are. It's
Yeah.
not, yes, we have certain questions that we want to answer, but we also want to get your questions answered so you could get to know this amazing, beautiful human being. Good. Um, let's see. Oh, look at this. Eileen says $10 super chat. What is that?
Ooh.
That's a YouTube thing.
Eileen is in here throwing money, honey.
Oh, wait, hold on.
How you like that?
There you
Hey.
go. I need to get some new sound effects. Okay, more super chats, more sound effects. Okay.
Super chat your way through the sound effects.
Super chat your way through the sound effects. I'll have like a special one. All right. So here's another question for you, XayLi. When it comes to brands aiming to collaborate with influencers, you already said, let them be creative. How could they also find influencers? Because I know there's influencer databases, but have you found like some people are really shining in hidden areas? Like Pinterest, for example, you're hiring someone to manage Pinterest for you. There are some influencers on Pinterest behind the scenes that goes like, oh, you got to be on this board, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like, what are your thoughts about that?
For brands finding influence
Finding
or
influencers.
yeah, that is a really great question. I think it's really about making sure, first of all, that the person or the person that you're looking for is aligned with your business, your morals, your values, like all of those things. And also making sure that they are attracting the audience that you desire to work with, right? That is so important for brands looking. And I think knowing those things also can help you find people, because there's some connection between that influencer's moral code and, the perfect partnership, if that makes sense, right? It's kind of like, we know that we don't buy from businesses, we buy from people. We buy
That's
from people we
true.
know, love, and trust, right? So looking for influencers, I think it's so important to make sure that there's alignment in values, and things like that. That is super important. And I would say, like I said before, don't sleep on the smaller influencers just because they don't have the numbers that you might be looking for. Like, more does not always mean more, honey. Okay. I'm just
Okay,
saying.
here's another like shout out to Ecamm. So Ecamm lets me record on the back end individual, like your content and individually my content. I have 1,000 GIF ideas right now of like sound bites of XayLi. And so even Jason Hodge is like, I'm responsible for creating space. That's going to be a sound effect. Hey, listen, if you want to be a guest on the show, I will make your own sound effects. So that
Ooh.
way when Creative Genie comes, it'd be like, XayLi, I'm responsible for creating space.
I love that.
And that'll be amazing. All right, so XayLi, when it comes to the future of influencer marketing, what are your thoughts on that? You could spin this anyway because we've got AI, we've got,
Yeah.
digital avatars, we've got C-level executives that are now jumping in front of the camera.
Yes.
Where do you see influence happening? Is it still going to be on YouTube? Like, what are your thoughts? Long form?
I definitely think it's still going to be there. Yes, I feel like we are in a space where long form is definitely going to be very important, or continue to be important. When we look at, first of all, let's talk about companies building media companies now, which is a form of content creation in order to attract their ideal client or customer, which is essentially what creators have been doing. Right? We see creators, or influencers now building their own platforms and their own media houses. And we see them linking that to their own companies specifically, right? So I don't see this going anywhere. I see it amplifying. I see it snowballing. And I feel like those are the people that will be on the forefront of wealth as we continue to grow.
Damn. Wait, hold on. I need to give you that one.
How you like that?
I love it. I love it. Seriously, I'm going to see you next month. We're going to have a bunch of fun. Because it's a short drive for you, right? You're just going to hop on over?
Yeah, I am. I'm thinking about staying there, like
Okay.
staying somewhere close by.
Come
So
through.
yeah.
Come through. It'll be good. All right. So for those of you that are tuning in, XayLi Barclay, if I haven't told you, she's a video content creation coach and she's a Thinkific expert for online business owners. So if you've ever thought about creating your own online community or your own online course, she is the person to go to. She was the one where I looked at her sales page. I'm like, this looks like nothing of the template. How did she do this? And
Exactly.
exactly, she shows up with her swag and all this other stuff. And I was just like, as an entrepreneur, you're like, oh my God, self-doubt. But she's like, no, you can do it. I was like, okay, I believe.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I used to struggle with that a lot. I used to struggle with my own self-doubt,
Yeah.
because if I'm showing up as my best and people are coming to me and they're feeling like that's the standard, I would want to dumb myself down. I really struggled with that at one point. But no, if I can do it, and I was a one-woman band for a very long time,
Yeah.
you can do it too. You just got to learn how.
That's the thing. Yeah. If I can do it, you can do it. And really,
Yeah, we
again, it
all
starts off
can.
with your mindset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Stephanie's out here killing it. So,
Oh, I'm still out here live streaming. I think that's wild. I've been live streaming literally for like 7 years. That's crazy.
yeah.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me do the math real quick. Hello?
You just need to send me your host bring back holder.
Okay. Let me come back. Arab. Okay. So Jason Hodge is saying we see everyone using AI for everything and getting so many things wrong. how would you say folks should be leveraging the tools so they can build properly with it? I mean, does this come up in Start Shoot Grow Academy at all?
No. So I think that what it is that so if you are going to use AI, you're the source. AI is not the source. So that's where I see people getting it wrong. Meaning, and when I say you are the source, I mean that you still have to validate what AI is putting out. If AI feeds you something and you are the expert, you're going to know, okay, this is valid or this is not valid. I think there are always going to be people out there talking about what they don't know about and being excited because they feel like now they can do it with AI. And that's the wrong way to look at it. It's essentially just remembering that you are the source and AI is here to assist in whatever it is I am creating. So, see, Jason agrees with me.
I know. I'm like, you are the divine.
Yeah,
The
you are the
AI
divine
is just a
source.
tool. You are the source. You are the
Exactly.
creative.
Yeah. So
There's
you have
something
to
there.
essentially know what to feed it.
Yeah. Look at this. Look, you just made another fan.
Hey, Jason.
I'm telling you. See,
Not
I
the
knew that you were gonna.
bomb.
I know, right? She's the bomb. Um, I got plenty more of these sound effects, but honestly, I have to say, Zay, thank you so much. Every time I reach out to you, I'm like, Zay, can you teach my audience? Can you tell them a little bit about influencer marketing? Whatever, fill in the blank. You're always down. You're always supportive.
Of
You're
course.
always out there supporting other female content creators, like nonstop, all day, every day. It's a thing. You walk the
I
walk. You talk the talk.
because I appreciate everyone and what they're putting out there. And I know personally this is not easy work. It's not easy to wake up and go to work in front of the world every single day. That is not easy. And that's why a lot of people are afraid of it. So I have to, it is my job to cheer on the people that are out here putting that work in. That
Hold
is
on a second. I got something for you. This is XayLi, everyone. This is her mission. I'll probably get a YouTube copyright for that. That's okay. you know, uh, Anna has a really great question, and we'll end up the show with this, unless you guys like swoop in real quick. Anna is saying, "Do you, XayLi, and Stephanie each have a psych background, and how do you get mindset right?"
I do not have a psych background. Stephanie probably does. But for me, I've always been, I don't know what it is, honestly. Maybe it's, I am Trinidadian. And so, um, Trinidadians have an English background. And so growing up, like just all the books I read were by Enid Blyton, and they would all be about kids turning over a new leaf for the summer and, things like, so I've always like, it kind of was coded into whatever I was reading. So, being that I love reading, I don't know. As a kid, I would be thinking about things like that, like how can I be a better person, and how can I? It's so funny. Like my husband laughs. He's like, "What?" He's like, "I was not even thinking about that as a kid." It's like, well, I don't know, but for me, um, you know, that's essentially where that comes from. So for me, it's just deeply ingrained. I always want to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
And as I grew, I just always want more for myself. I know what my capabilities are. I do not take for granted what I'm able to do or what I was placed here to do. I know because I feel it. So,
Yeah.
whatever I have to do to keep myself in a healthy mind space in order to be able to show up for myself first, for my family, for my customers and clients. Like I will do whatever it takes. So no
I
psych
love that.
background.
Yeah. So funny enough, yes, I do have a psych background. I've always been fascinated. Yeah, like you know this. I've always been fascinated
Yes.
why people think, act, and say the things that they do. Like, how does a successful person motivate themselves to go to the
Yeah.
gym? Like, I would want to know, Zayli, when you're getting ready this morning, what did you say to yourself to get yourself out of bed? What activated Zayli mode?
I just thought about my, so it's funny. My coach and I have this term that because recently he asked me like what would be my dream life, and I told him I'm actually living it, and he was so mind blown by me saying that. But we also realized that because I was in that space of shit, this is what I dreamed of. I still needed to create like a whole different level of my new self. So we call it XayLi 3.0 of like, so laying in bed this morning, I'm like, she would be at the gym, girl. so so guess what?
That's what XayLi 3.0 would do. She would be at the gym. Dang, I felt that right now. I was like,
girl, she's already on her second, so this morning I got so much done before meeting with Stephanie, which was great. So I got a bunch of things done. I worked out, I got myself together, and I can show up and be present and be so grateful to be in this space with her and with you amazing people. So that was my morning. XayLi 3.0 is she's a thing.
So to answer your question, Anna, if you want to get into the right mindset, you wake up in the morning, you say, what would XayLi 3.0 do?
So Anna, what decimal are you on? Are you on, Anna?
What decimal are you on? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at right now? Oh, I love that. Anna says, thank you so much. And P.S., by the way, shout out to Gabe Leal Experience. What's going on, everyone? Happy to have you here. I love that people are coming in from the different platforms. You got like Facebook, Instagram, or not Instagram, LinkedIn and YouTube. Do you still live stream at all? Like, where can people find you?
So my main point of live streaming is YouTube, but I also stream to Facebook. Sometimes I stream to Instagram, but not very often. I have a Facebook group, a private Facebook group on my Facebook page, and to YouTube. But live streaming is so much fun. It's too much fun. And then we get to repurpose it. So that's
I love it. Before I let you go, though, tell us a little bit about what you're working on, because everyone's digging your vibe. I don't even know why I was here. I should have just went live and be like, here's XayLi, go.
Listen, Stephanie, no, let's. I'm grateful that you're here. You allowed me to be here with you today with your amazing community. I am working on the Brave on Video membership, which is my main membership. It's something that I really enjoy doing, helping people get on camera so that they can sell their products and services, because video has been so foundational for me, my journey, and the journey of my clients and customers. It's life-changing. Okay. You're one video away from your dream life. So get on camera, get active with it, get consistent if you aren't. And so, that is what I'm currently working on.
That's what you're doing. Look at this. Look at that. Bum, bum, bum.
Yes.
Look at that. Let me hop on here for you real quick too. Listen, if you're tired of being the best kept secret, if you're ready to strut into the spotlight, if you're ready to share your gift with the world, if you feel like, my gosh, the universe keeps testing me. The universe is testing you because it's saying you need to go out there. You need to be brave on video. So having said that, go find XayLi. You can find her on LinkedIn, Instagram, all the things. Join her private Facebook group. I bet you they have a lot of fun in there. I bet you they got the best wallpaper.
We do.
And it's been awesome and amazing. For the rest of the crew that weren't able to join us live, totally get it. We'll repurpose the content, turn it into a blog post. I'll drop it in the comments for you, so that way you could still engage and ask your questions. Again, if you're watching #replay, drop a question. I'll always reach out to XayLi and tap her if she has time.
I do.
Maybe
get into my DMs on Instagram. I'm always in there talking to everyone.
I know. P.S. Your Instagram reels, what happened to the characters that you used to do? You stopped it. That was like one of my favorite things.
That's my ADHD.
I love it.
I was excited about that then. And then I was like, this is a lot. I'm kidding. I don't know I don't know if they'll come back or when they'll come back. But yeah, I think so when I look back at my Instagram, I'm like, girl, I can see what season I was in.
Yeah.
Like specifically. So I was just in a season of, I'm so dimensional, so that was just.
You are dimensional. I love it. There's this one song that I like. It's like coming to my like Jericho, Iniko. Is that what it is?
What?
what is their name? I have to look it up before I let you go because I it's a whole vibe, and I think you
The
would love it.
characters, you mean?
No. They are an artist.
Oh,
Jericho,
okay.
Iniko, Jericho. Oh, I'm gonna send it to you. You're gonna love it. Alex
never
Melody, if you guys know this song too, it's so good. But
I
I'll
never
send it
heard
to
of
you.
them.
Oh, you're gonna love it. All right. Having said that, Alex, Melody, Brandon, the rest of the crew, Tatiana, I
Thank you,
appreciate you
guys.
so much for being here. This has been fun. And it'll be
So
even more
much
fun
fun.
because I'll be more ridiculous on Instagram Live with XayLi once we're in Dallas. We'll go from there.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. That
All
is gonna
right.
be fun.
Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.
Wait, let's go. Bye.